I once had a book that made $27,841 in one single month, and it was all because of the niche. Hi, my name is Peter, and with me today is Andre. He made over $19,000 in 1 month from only 12 books. And he did it less than a year of starting on Amazon KDP. Welcome, Andre. It's great to have you here.
Hi, Peter. Thanks for having me.
Today, we will discuss what the top 1% of publishers don't want you to know about niche research, where even advanced publishers go wrong when selecting a niche, and how we're able to conquer niches despite how big the competition is. Towards the end of this video, we'll show you a niche that is very profitable, so make sure to stay tuned to hear our live thoughts as we go over this niche. So Andre, where do you want to start off this video?
Where do you think most, I don't know how to call them, publishing gurus, most people on YouTube, when I watched your videos 10 months ago, I think I have seen your first video, and I know there was something, you talked about different stuff, you talk more about mindset, you talk more about advanced stuff, and it immediately appealed to me in a different way than most people that are just talking about doing a book on Canva and coloring book stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And why do you think, do these people share only the basic knowledge? Cheryl put it perfectly in a video with you. He said that all these people are only sharing dumbed down knowledge, and you can make money with dumbed down knowledge. He said it like this. Yeah. And why do you think why do they do this?
That's a very interesting question. And when I started YouTube, I didn't think much of it. I just walked around with the camera and I started talking about what I was seeing. And my first videos, they didn't get much views, but I think they got the right type of people to listen to them, because I think you discovered me fairly early on, one of the first videos. I know many other advanced publishers that I talked about, they also very much enjoyed the walking raw videos where I was just free flowing. But the more I got into YouTube and I started searching and looking up, I realized that YouTube is very much a business for a lot of people. And I think if you want to maximize the amount of views or clicks, etc., you want to get from a video, I think it's about making as many people as possible understand it and make it create some sort of emotion in them, that it's very appealing, it's something new, and you want to make things seem easier than it is. So I think that's one of the main reasons, is that people are optimizing for clicks and what is most appealing, and not necessarily what is most beneficial. I don't listen to many videos. Perhaps they use it to get the attention, so they give people what they want, and then they deliver what they need. But in many cases, I think some of it's made to sound too easy. Or what is your experience from watching other videos?
Maybe YouTube is normal to use clickbait stuff. Everybody does this, and it's not a bad thing. My problem is more the content itself of many videos. As you said, if you frame it as that what the people want, but deliver what they need, I think that's the perfect mixture. Yeah. But I don't know who they is, but I think I have watched 6 or 7 YouTubers intensively who are doing self-publishing content in the English market. There are also German ones, but I'm speaking about the English ones. And they are only focused on beginners and doing easy tutorials and talking about videos, how to upload a book. And of course, it's important to know how to upload a book. But if you are a publisher who does a few $1,000s a month, or even a few $100s a month, you don't want to know how to publish the book on Amazon as a step-by-step guide, and you don't want to see I know people who have the same video 20 times on their channel, and it's always how to get 100 reviews as fast as possible, and it's always the same content. It's just talking about Puppy. He has the same video, different thumbnail, but many of these people just do that content because it clicks, and the people like, the comments say they love these videos. So it's not their fault, it's not bad to do these videos, but it's nothing that would appeal to me.
Yes.
At least. And
I think that's one big change that we're making now, is we're not even going to look at the views amount on these videos. We're more so going to optimize for getting the right type of people, serious people, to watch these videos, and hopefully you will appreciate that change as well.
Yeah, it's normal that if you talk about advanced stuff, most people just don't want to hear that, because even some advanced people, I think, they're just watching it like blockbusters. They just watch the basic videos to hear it the 50th times because it's entertainment for them, and they like that. So if you speak to beginners, I think to speak to everybody, because the advanced ones eat popcorn and the beginners can learn something for that. But there isn't a place of really high quality stuff, because it's too complicated. I think this video series from us two here, if we now the next few minutes talk about how niche research really work, because the difference is what people talk on YouTube is niche research that's I don't know, I would guess it's 5 years old or so. And I wasn't here 5 years ago in KDP, but I would guess that's what it looked like. It's so basic. It has nothing to do with what expert publishers, as I know them, are really doing when they do niche research. It has nothing to do with it. Yeah, and this, if we now talk about these topics, I think that most people will just shut their heads off, because it's too, I don't want to say complicated, but it's out of reach for beginners.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk to the 10% of the audience that's still here. Kudos to you for watching. Let's dive into the next point here.
The next point is how niche research really works. As I said, it's not a critique to beginners. If you are a beginner, it's completely normal that you do niche research very basic. First thing I want to talk about is the whole data stuff, because niche research, if you learn niche research from YouTube videos, from many KDP gurus, they will only talk about the tools and the data part. And that's 10% of niche, that's the beginning of niche research. You need data, you need tools, but it's firstly completely irrelevant what tools you need, and secondly, it's completely how about you use these tools. These tools are just, they're helpful for you to be faster, but you need to know how to do, because if you don't know, it's like when you are driving the car, if you don't know your destination, it's completely irrelevant if you have a faster or a slower car, you don't know where you want to go. So it's yeah.
I think that's a good point as well, because I always started with the manual approach, and I did everything manually.
Yeah.
And now when I'm more teaching a little bit, I had to break it down. Okay, what is it that I'm actually doing? Because I get a gut feeling for certain niches.
Yeah.
It's not that I consciously look, okay, these are the numbers, or these are that, but I just scan through and I see, okay, here's a gap, here's an opportunity. And I think breaking that down, that is something that will be very helpful for many publishers.
Yeah, and all the beginners are asking, what tool should I use?
Yes.
That's an irrelevant question. You can use any tool as a beginner. Just do niche research. Just look at Amazon and just use native Amazon. Just be on Amazon as a customer. You want to feel the customer experience.
Yes.
I, for example, has Helium 10, the Chrome extension, just to see the BSRs, and that's the main function that I use from Helium 10. And 3 tools offer exactly the same function. So I don't need more than that. Of course, I use the review because it's just easier to do the keyword stuff in the next steps, especially when I'm running ads. I use the review most of the time. But for niche research itself, I could use the free plan of Helium 10.
Yes.
That wouldn't be a problem. And what you really want to focus on, so to get a little bit in the depth now, you first want to know, of course, is there a demand? That's the whole numbers game. Are there people buying books in this niche? I think that's logical. We don't need to talk about that much. But after that, you want to attack this niche. You want to go into this niche, and you want to find a spot where you can place your book in. Because what is niche research? The only goal of niche research is to find potential. A potential that you can fulfill with a book. And I think that alone most people don't understand. They don't really know what niche research is. It's only about finding potentials, and it's completely irrelevant what type of potential it is. Many people then just show, okay, is there demand in the niche? Yes. Are there books with thousands of reviews? Yes. Don't go into this niche. That's how I at least have the feeling that niche research is taught. If there is too much competition, don't go into this niche. And that's not how advanced publishers, if I talk to them, really see niches. It's completely different, because reviews is just one metric of, I think in the niche course I laid out 12 or something. So reviews is one part out of many, many different parts you can attack. And if really the top 5 sellers all have 500, 1,000, 2,000, 200 reviews, you don't want to compete on the review side. Maybe you can compete on another part. You can compete maybe also not on the cover, because today most covers are also really good, but you can compete from a positioning front. If all, so maybe a little bit slower, what is a niche? A niche is a problem to be solved. If somebody types in a keyword, the keyword is what the people are thinking is the solution for the problem. It not necessarily is the solution, but they think this what I'm typing in is the solution for my problem. That's why I'm searching it. And then they land on a niche. And now the books, the positioning of the books addresses this problem and offer the solution for the problem the people have in mind. And every book can state the solution a little bit different. But in most of the niches, there are maybe 2 or 3 positionings that are attacking the same angle. And if you find a way to attack the niche from a different angle and solve the problem, but it sounds easier, it sounds better, it sounds like a more complete approach. Maybe the other books solve one part of the problem, and you can do a book that solves the complete problem. So for example, my books are, I would guess, I would say, are in this category. So I'm in a niche, or one of my brand is in a niche where the people solved always one part of the problem, and then I came in and solved a bigger part of the same problem. And that's what make my concept of the book so unique, and that was the reason I could compete with 30 reviews against books with 300 reviews without any problem. You only need attack points. I always talk about points of attack. You can enter the market, and most people only look on reviews and maybe the cover, maybe the A+ content, but most people don't even go that far. You need attack points of attack, and there are many different points of attack. The description can be one, reviews can be one, the quality of reviews can be one. If a book has 5,000 or 2,000 reviews and it has a 4.3 rating, which isn't too bad, but it's on the tipping point the right word? I hope tipping point is still the right word, because if you have 4.2, only 4 stars will be shown. And if it has 4.3, you can just scroll down and read all the bad reviews. And you will learn a lot by reading these bad reviews. And alone, through the content of these reviews, you can create a book that can compete against this book. Just purely if you read the reviews and make a better book that appeals to the people that all wrote a bad review about the book. So these are strategies I think are more practical and are more realistic advanced publishers use to see a niche.
Yes, very interesting topic here. And I think if we go back to, okay, why are we being taught this systematic approach? If this is correct, or if this metric, for example, it has this BSR, then it's a good niche. If it has this amount of reviews, etc., etc. And that I understand why that is being taught to beginners, because you can't overwhelm in the beginning, because then people will not take action. But at some point, it becomes about going beyond that and starting to see nuances. Mike Tyson, he says, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And I always go back to when I was learning Muay Thai, and my trainer, he had me focus so much on the base in the beginning, and it was very boring. But then eventually I started seeing, okay, why are you doing it like this? And I started seeing what he was doing that he wasn't necessarily explaining. And then I started making connections, and I started seeing nuances. Because if you go in and you do a 4 combination jab, cross, hook, and then let's say another cross, while you're doing that, you have that in mind, then you don't know what the opponent is going to do. Meaning that you might think, okay, but I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to get more reviews. That's one metric. And you don't think about, okay, but this other book, it has other defensive strategies, like you mentioned. There are other reasons why this book is being bought. So you have to think, okay, well, I need to adapt. I need to think, okay, maybe just getting more reviews isn't enough. I need to give them another reason, whether that is being better or being unique or have a certain positioning. And like Andre says here, the attack points. What are the attack points? And perhaps we can continue to break some of those down. Andre, what are some of the attack points that we can see when we research a niche?
Yeah, as I said, I think I laid out 11 or 12 in DPE. But the obvious ones, of course, are reviews, the title, and the cover. These are the ones that are that will convert the click. So there are 2 types of conversions on Amazon. When you do niche research, you want to separate this versus the click conversion. So if the people see the book in the search results, the title, the cover, and the review count, and of course the review, how much stars there are. This will depend how much people will click on the book. That's the first conversion you want. Of course, you want the right people. If you have a clickbait title on Amazon and all people click on the book but don't buy it, then your ad spend will go through the roof and you don't do profitable ads. But that's the first component. The second is all on the Amazon product page. And there also is the title. But title there isn't that important. The title was more important on the first step. The cover is still important. I would say it's also less important, but still it's very important on the product page. Then there's the description. Description is a new part. Description is, of course, you can't see description on the search results. You can see it the first time on the Amazon product page. And that's one attack point. If you have a great description and your competitor hasn't a great description, you can compete through a description, because if you have secured the click, so people clicked on the book and are now on your product page and they read the description, and you succeed in creating a description that is so good that people will immediately buy after reading the description because it's a sales text, then you have an attack point for this niche, because people click on your book, read it and buy, and they don't look for other books. So there aren't points they can jump back from your product page to other books, because they immediately buy when they wrote your descriptions. Of course, not everybody will do that, but if it's a great description, some people will do that, and that's one benefit you can achieve. And then the next part, of course, the reviews also are shown on the product page, but there the review count isn't that important anymore. It's more the reviews, if they scroll down, what they say. And if you have 100 scam reviews which are only a sentence long and write good book, it's not good for your book. Because I think Amazon customers aren't idiots, and I think that if they see a scam review, they see a scam review. They know that. They can see what review is real and written from a real customer and which reviews aren't. And if you have, for example, 200 reviews and not one picture review, that would be weird to me. And to many customers, that would be weird. And if you have 20 reviews, but 4 of them are with pictures, that's a complete different quality than a book with 100 reviews without any pictures. So pictures and video reviews are another type of review. These are attack points. If you have a competitor that has no picture review, no video review, you can attack by getting these types of reviews. Then of course the A+ content, and you can just make a way better A+ content. A brand is an attack point, or a brand is a defense mechanism. So if you create a brand, it gets harder for new competitors to attack you, because you can cross promote in the A+ content your books, and that's really effective for securing your spot inside this niche. And yes, this would be some points, some attack points.
Yeah, excellent.
Next, we can go to the live demo, but before that, I wanted to mention something I had in mind 5 minutes ago. The main problem, I think, with people teaching the same way of niche research, because what I told you about attack points is very nuanced, and every people looks on a niche differently. So I see potential where Peter doesn't see potential, and Peter sees potential where I doesn't see potential, because we all have own experiences, all knowledge. We are all individuals, and every individual sees a niche in a different way. And so can everybody publisher gets his piece of the cake, because our individuality is the key in niche research, because we can understand a niche differently than other people do. And if you watch the normal YouTube videos, you get taught niche research the same way. And then 50,000 publishers, I don't know how much, but let's say a big number of publishers, all are doing niche research the same way, all finding the same niches, all creating the same book. And then a beginner, he learns the basics and he learns them well, but in the end, the beginner creates a book, publishes it, and fails because it's the same niche as everybody launches a book. And that, I think, is the negative point of teaching everybody niche research on the same dumbed down way. And I wanted to mention that before we go into the live demo.
Okay, let's now dive into the live.
So now you can see the niche coin collection for beginners. I just researched this for a course I was doing in DPE, and I wanted to share this niche because it has great attack points, and I don't see any that much self-publishers going into this niche. I also thought about going myself into this niche. Maybe I will, but I will also talk about what holds me back for doing that. But we can first look at this book like that. So we have one defense mechanism, which is the bestseller button. If you have this, it's a completely conversion booster. It's one of the best things you can get on Amazon. Of course, if somebody scrolls through the results, these two books will appeal way more just because of this orange little thing here. Here you will see, okay, it looks much more bad because there is no orange button. It's really that simple. People aren't that complicated. Here, if you scroll down, of course, you will ignore this book because you see there, oh, I will scroll later, and now you only see this book and you've completely forgot about this book here. So this is one defense mechanism. If you achieve to get a bestseller badge, it's a completely conversion boost. Next thing is the title we talked about, the reviews, the review count, and the cover of the book. So here an attack point, an obvious one, would be the review count, because this book has only 4.2, and from 4.2 to 4.3 is the change if you see 4.5 or only 4 stars. So this is an obvious attack point to convert more clicks. Now we can look at this book in more detail. First, what you can do is look at the niches, at the description of this book. What you can see, it's in theory not a bad formatted description. One problem I see are these checks, because officially it's not allowed to add emojis and stuff in the description. I've never seen Amazon doing something about this, so it's your own risk of doing that. And this looks very natural. At least I've seen other descriptions with crazy colorful emojis all over the place, and I think that's more of a problem. But this looks like a good description. Then A+ content, and here's the biggest attack point, because the A+ content looks great, and I think it's well optimized for selling. Of course, bonus with its value stacking he's doing here, bonus 1, bonus 2. And the main problem of this book is this page, because not all people will read completely through all of this. They just will see the picture by scrolling through the page. And here's the book. Then they see, okay, a book. Then they see, okay, again the book. And they maybe now buy. And then they get the book and see, okay, if you look inside it, it's loading, yeah. Oh, it's black and white. And it doesn't look at all like this. Of course, if you would have read all of these and would have read the reviews, you would know this is just the bonus and it's a PDF. But it's a PDF and it isn't what he tries to share here. It looks like a book and he's selling a book, and that's just, I would call it fraud. I would just call it fraud, and that's a big attack point, because this is the main reason for, you can see the 8% 1-star reviews. You can search the book yourself if you want to read the bad reviews. And also, I've never seen this actually. The Amazon AI. I've never seen the Amazon AI mention bad points. So it really has done much things wrong. And I would guess that all these verified purchases, excellent book, all puppy reviews and stuff like that. Because as you can see, this book is also a Kindle version, and the only reason to sell this book as a Kindle version, I would guess, is to get the reviews from these review sites. Again, if you, for example, click on this, you can see it's a 1-star review. And if you look at the book, it's not well formatted. There are not the pictures. It's just black and white. It's a pure quality. And the main attack point of this whole niche, you can also look at all the other books. And I think 95% of all the books that are selling in this niche are books like this, black and white, that are promoting that they are have color, but don't have color, and getting very bad reviews over the month. So you can see also this book isn't that old. So it's not that old and has that much 1-star reviews. So if this book is a year older from now, it will have way more 1-star reviews and will maybe die out. And the big potential in this niche, and as I said, niche research is all about potential. The potential in this niche is to create exactly the book the people hope to get when they buy this book. So create a real book in color. As you can see, the book is only 150 pages and costs $21.99. And you can create a full color book on KDP for 150 pages for $20. You can do it and earn lots of royalties. And if you really do that, full color, a perfect product, look at the reviews, look what they are saying is bad about the book, and optimizing that, then you can completely overtake this this niche. Of course, you then also at least would need to compete on the cover front. So the cover, your cover, should at least be as good as his cover here to compete. So if you're searching attack points, we aim to do stuff that are well, to do them at least at the same level the people have done them. So if the cover is good, then we need at least a cover that is as good as his cover to compete with him. If the reviews are bad, it's an attack point and we can get better reviews. And if you compare a book that has, if you create now a book and it has a better or a cover that's as good as this cover and has just with 30 reviews, 4.8, 4.9 for example, then you can't compete with this book. It has more reviews, but then you have just better quality reviews. Maybe you have some picture reviews where the people share this real color. It's really a great book. It's really great content, and then you can run, for example, direct product ads with ASINs on this book, pay lots of money, that your book is always here at the top spot. And all the people who see this book don't want to buy it because of the bad reviews and click on your book, they all will buy your book because it's exactly what the people who wanted to buy this book and got, I don't know the English word, got what they have thought they would got, really what they really want. So you offer exactly what the people want and the solution for their problem. So that's the potential in this niche, and I think it's a perfect example because this book has a BSR of I think 6,000, so it's selling extremely well and has obvious attack points, and no other book is really attacking that with high quality. All the books that are attacking this book are doing the same mistakes. All books are doing the same. It's all black and white. It's most of them have a weaker cover than this book has, so of course they can't compete with it. But yeah, I think this is a great potential. The reason I haven't gone in this niche, as I said, maybe I will try a book and create a great book to compete with that, but my concern would be that there are so many publishers that are doing the same, as I said, I would call it scam or fraud. Maybe they are really bad people. I want don't want to frame them directly, but that's just how I feel. If I go into the niche and really create the greatest book that this niche has ever seen with great quality and great colorful pages, then maybe these publishers who are scamming Amazon customers will buy bad reviews for my book and attack my listing. And that's what my concern would be. Because if a niche is that full of people who are obviously doing fraud on Amazon customers, I don't want to imagine what things they would do to me if I would try to steal their place on Amazon. But I don't know what are you thinking, Peter?
Yeah, but very interesting analysis there. I think this niche has great potential. And I wouldn't worry too much about that. I think it might also be just a lack of knowledge. I think sometimes there's a quote, I can't remember now, maybe someone can put in the comment, but more harm is done by incompetence than pure evil.
Yeah, that's maybe the thing. I think it's just my German Austrian paranoia.
Yeah, productive paranoia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is an excellent analysis. Now, hopefully this was an eye-opening experience. Now, when you're doing niche research, you will see just one of the points, attack points that Andre teaches inside DPE. So, of course, there are many more factors that he looks at, but we don't want to make this video too long. And go back to the first video if you missed that. We covered the fundamentals. We covered what will change on Amazon KDP. And we covered how to succeed today, the mindset you want to have. Because going into a niche like this, if you have a long-term mindset, then I can definitely see a book making money for years, because this is 2025 and there's still gaps in the market, as you can clearly see. And that is what I aim to share on this channel, that it's not too late. We as advanced publishers, we still see these opportunities everywhere and we can't act on them all. So definitely make sure to subscribe to this channel and watch the video series. In the next video, we will talk even more about creating a quality book. So stay tuned to that. Thank you very much, Andre, for doing this interview.
Thank you, Peter, too.
See you in the next one.
Yes.